Hey folks, how's it going? I'm Josh. Tay is upstairs working on her craft, so I'm going to shoot some videos alone. Well, hopefully she'll be down here with me later to check out some of her favorites. Norm McDonald's like that. I'm kind of cheating because George Carlin's one of her favorites too, but I'm still doing it alone because I want to watch this one. This is George Carlin, Germs, Immune System. All right, let's hop into it.
Way of reducing your liberty and reminding you that they can fuck with you anytime they want, as long as you put up with it. As long as you put up with it. Which means, of course, anytime they want. Because that's what Americans do now. They're always willing to trade away a little of their freedom in exchange for the feeling, the illusion of security. What we have now is a completely neurotic population obsessed with security and safety and crime and drugs and cleanliness and hygiene and germs. There's another thing. Germs. Where did this sudden fear of germs come from? In this country. Have you noticed this? The media constantly running stories about all the latest infections, salmonella, E. coli, hantavirus, bird flu, and Americans they panic easily, so now everybody's running around scrubbing this and spraying that and overcooking their food and repeatedly washing their hands, trying to avoid all contact with germs. It's ridiculous, and it goes to ridiculous lengths. In prisons, before they give you a lethal injection, they swab your arm with alcohol. It's true. It's true.
That whole first part of the segment sounds super familiar, right? It sounds like what's going on right now. I remember a few years back I don't know how many years back, but I remember they started saying hand sanitizer was bad for you. Like it cracks your skin, actually kills good bacteria and stuff, and now it's like a whole 360 and everything.
It's true.
Or 180.
Well, they don't want you to get an infection. And you can see their point. Wouldn't want some guy to go to hell and be sick. It would take a lot of the sportsmanship out of the whole execution. Fear of germs, why these fucking pussies? You can't even get a decent hamburger anymore. They cook the shit out of everything now because everybody's afraid of food poisoning. Hey, where's your sense of adventure? Take a fucking chance, will you? You know how many people die in this country from food poisoning every year? 9,000. That's all. It's a minor risk. Take a fucking chance, bunch of goddamn pussies.
Oh, no.
Besides, what do you think you have an immune system for? It's for killing germs. But it needs practice. It needs germs to practice on. So listen.
He's making a lot of sense. He's making a lot of sense already, but he always freaking does. But yeah.
Listen. If you kill all the germs around you and live a completely sterile life, then when germs do come along, you're not going to be prepared. And never mind ordinary germs, what are you going to do when some super virus comes along that turns your vital organs into liquid shit? I'll tell you what you're going to do. You're going to get sick, you're going to die, and you're going to deserve it because you're fucking weak and you got a fucking weak immune system. Now, hey.
This is really funny, but it's also a little unnerving. It's crazy. Like, this just really lines up with what's going on, man. This is super crazy. All his stuff does it to me, though, when it comes to politics and all that jazz.
All right. Let me tell you a true story about immunization, okay? When I was a little boy in New York City in the 1940s, we swam in the Hudson River, and it was filled with raw sewage,
Gross.
Okay? We swam in raw sewage, to cool off. And at that time, the big fear was polio. Thousands of kids died from polio every year. But you know something? In my neighborhood, no one ever got polio. No one, ever. You know why? Because we swam in raw sewage. It strengthened our immune systems. The polio never had a prayer. We were tempered in raw shit. So personally, I never take any special precautions against germs.
That's like me. I used to when in Gary it would rain. I'm gonna say this quick, and it'll fill up the sewage, the back alley, because the sewers were always jammed or clogged. So we would swim in the alley, like in that junk, garbage juice, everything. We would swim in that shit. We couldn't afford a pool or nothing, but that was like our best excitement, was swimming in the rain in like the freaking alley.
I don't shy away from people who sneeze and cough. I don't wipe off the telephone. I don't cover the toilet seat. And if I drop food on the floor, I pick it up and eat it. I eat it. Yes, I Even if I'm at a sidewalk cafe in Calcutta, the poor section, on New Year's morning during a soccer riot. And you know something? In spite of all that so-called risky behavior, I never get infections. I don't get them. I don't get colds. I don't get flu. I don't get headaches. I don't get upset stomachs. And you know why? Because I got a good, strong immune system, and it gets a lot of practice. My immune system is equipped with the biological equivalent of fully automatic military assault rifles with night vision and laser scopes. And we have recently acquired phosphorus grenades, cluster bombs, and anti-personnel fragmentation mines. So, when my white blood cells are on patrol, reconnoitering my bloodstream, seeking out strangers and other undesirables, if they see any suspicious-looking germs of any kind, they don't fuck around. They whip out the weapons, they wax the motherfucker, and deposit the unlucky fellow directly into my colon. Into my colon. There's no nonsense. There's no Miranda warning. There's none of that 3 strikes and you're out shit. First defense, bam, into the colon you go.
I said this before. This dude is a genius, man. Jesus Christ, man. This stuff really aligns with what's going on and everything. And he's just, oh my God, this dude is just brilliant.
Oh. And speaking of my colon, I want you to know I don't automatically wash my hands every time I go to the bathroom, okay? Can you deal with that? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. You know when I wash my hands? When I shit on them. That's the only time. And you know how often that happens? Tops. 2-3 times a week. Tops. Maybe a little more frequently over the holidays. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you something else, my well-scrubbed friends. You don't always need a shower every day. Did you know that? It's overkill. Unless you work out or work outdoors or for some reason come in intimate contact with huge amounts of filth and garbage every day, you don't always need a shower. All you really need to do is to wash the 4 key areas. Armpits, asshole, crotch, and teeth. Got that? Armpits, asshole, crotch, and teeth. In fact, you can save yourself a whole lot of time if you simply use the same brush on all 4 areas.
Oh, no. That's brilliant.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right.
That was fantastic. I love that. And I'm not loving in the sense where I think, like, I'm not saying, like, if we would have been more, if we would have been, like, less cautious when it comes to, like, germs and all that kind of jazz, blah, 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 that we wouldn't be worse off than what we are. But I think I think that it's good because being too fearful about everything kind of sets you up for failure. You know what I mean? A lot of people get overly fearful when it comes to every single thing. And that's what happened with, it was Jesus Christ. I cannot put my words together today. It was a book I read. They're talking about the reason why, like, back in the day you didn't hear a lot about nut allergies, so you hear so much about it now, is because the doctors essentially did tests. I'm going to sum it up quickly. I'm leaving sparks up. I'm summing it up quickly. Doctors did tests on kids where they slowly gave nuts to children, like to one control group, and gave none to another control group. And out of the group that they gave the nuts to, it was 10 kids, 10 newborns. And 8 out of the 10 newborns didn't get a nut allergy, 2 did. And the ones they gave no nuts to, like 8 out of 10 of them ended up with a nut allergy. Showing that, yes, some kids can have nut allergies, but if you have to give it to them so they can build up an immunity to it. But the fear of parents get so fearful thinking all their kids can end up with nut allergy, or they're scared to take a risk because their kid might die, which is understandable. They would just not give the kids nuts at all, even after they do that little test or whatever that says they might be. The parents would never give them nuts, so they never build up a system to fight against it. So they do end up with a severe nut allergy later on because they never let their immune system or what have you build up to the nuts. If you get what I'm saying, I'm really summing it up, but he's right, man. You got to kind of expose yourself to stuff to get like stronger. Not trying to underplay the pandemic or none of that stuff, but like it's proven, man. And now when I was reading that book, I thought this is freaking crazy. They did all these studies and saying like that whole scare, like it was partially not necessarily parents' faults. It was doctors' faults because they pushed like that about the intensity of nut allergies, how it can kill your kid and all the jazz. So parents went into like this panic and everything. And I, for the life of me, I cannot remember what the book is called. I'm always bringing up books and I forget what the freaking book is called. I don't know. I think I read too much useless stuff. So I always forget. I have a ton of books. And sometimes it's not even a book just about that. You know what I mean? It'll be a book that includes like a bunch of different stuff, and then I just forget what the book is. I don't know if you guys do the same thing. Because I think the book was on taking risk, and they just included that study. If I think of it, I'll put it in the link so you guys can read it if you want to read it. All right, guys, that's all for that one. For this one, please like, share, subscribe, comment below. All that good jazz everybody says. But also, the most important thing be, hope you guys are safe. Hopefully you guys are healthy. And hopefully you guys are trying to use some of this time to, reconnect with friends and family and all that jazz. But not in big settings, because that's the rule. All right, guys. I'll see you all in the next one. Later.